Your bank is robbing you, not with fees, but with what they're not paying you. So today, I want to show you how to make an extra $10,000, maybe $15,000 per year on money you already have. Not by taking more risk, not by investing in, some crypto or some stock, but by optimizing the cash that's sitting in your checking account. Let me show you what the numbers look like. Now, here's what most people do. Let's say that you have a business and you have your business accounts and you have personal accounts and you have checking accounts and you have savings accounts. And so let's say that maybe across all of your accounts, you have $100,000, your brokerage accounts, all of those. And you keep that money in there because it's safe. But safe doesn't necessarily mean smart. Now, the average account is paying you about 0.4% interest. That's okay, right? It's not meant to be an investment. That's cash I need for payroll or for emergency expenses and things like that. But again, it's paying you 0.4% interest. So if you have, for round numbers, let's say across all those accounts, business, personal, checking, everything, brokerage, you have, let's say $100,000, then you're making about $400 per year. Now, doesn't that sound a little bit crazy? You work your butt off for $100,000. You give it to the bank who lends it out. They make money off of it. And to say thank you, they give you the equivalent of maybe one fancy dinner per year, right? If it's finally coming to you that's a pretty bad bargain, right? Let me show you what you could be doing instead. Let's take that $100,000 and now let's compare it to 3 different scenarios. If you leave it in a checking account at say 0.4%, again, it pays you about $400 a year. If you move it over to like a money market account, you could make 4%. Now that's paying you $4,000 a year, much better. But if you move it to a high yield asset at say 10.5%, it pays $10,500 a year. Just by clicking a few buttons on your computer and moving money from one account to another, you just put an extra $10,000 in your pocket. Now you might be thinking like, what's this asset that pays 10.5%? Well, for this, I'm using a new equity called Stretch, STRC. And basically, it's digital credit. It's a securitized Bitcoin instrument. Now, we talk a lot more about Stretch, STRC, inside my Wealth OS program. It's my program where we go deeper on optimization strategies like this. But we even help you build out your entire wealth engine. There's a link down below if you're interested in checking it out. But even if you just move to a 4% money market, you're 10 times better than where you are right now. But there's a second layer. See, most people also make another massive mistake. They pay their bills early, right? We use like an online bill pay where it automatically sends out the payments on the first of the month. And of course, why not? I'm not making any money holding it. Why not give it to them? But if you're making 4% or 10%, what if I could hold on my money longer? What if I paid my bill, every bill, on the last possible day it's due? And if you average that out, let's say that you're holding your cash an extra 15 days per month, 180 days a year. Let's say at 10.5%, our 100,000 yields $15,660. Now, when your money's making 0.4%, who cares, right? Who cares when you pay? But when it's earning 10.5%, every single day matters. If your mortgage is due on the 30th, why pay it on the 1st? That's 29 days you're giving them free money. Again, if I can hold my money an average of just say 15 days longer, it's like a 50% increase in my return. 50% just by optimizing the day I make my payment. Now, I'm not saying pay late. Definitely not saying that. I'm saying pay on time. I'm saying pay the last day before it's late, but it's still on time. So now you're not just moving your cash, you're timing your payments. And that adds another say $5,000 or more per year. So here's how I structure all this myself. Instead of one checking account with all my cash earning 0.4%, I have multiple accounts, and each one has a specific purpose. I have an operating account for meeting expenses. I have a minimal balance there, right? I have a profit account for owner distributions. That's a 10.5% yield. I have a tax account for quarterly payments. That's earning 10.5% until they're due. I have an investment account for wealth building. That's earning 10.5% while I'm staging capital. And I have a lifestyle account for vacations, cars, things like that I'm amortizing into. And that's earning 10.5% until I need it. So if my business generates $50,000 a month, here's what it looks like. The old way is all of that sits in a checking account at, again, 0.4%. That's $20 a month in interest. The new way, I keep $10,000 in my operating account for immediate expenses. The other $40,000 is spread across these other accounts, all earning at 10.5%. That's $350 a month. That's $4,200 a year in passive yield. With the 15-day hold strategy, it becomes $6,300 a year. Now, this is from money I I'm already making, right? All I did was place it into smarter locations, right? You're not doing anything complicated here. You're not doing anything risky. You're just being intentional about where your money sits. All right, now here's where it really starts to compound. That extra $6,300 a year, instead of taking a vacation or buying something frivolous, I could invest it. Let's say that I put it into the stock market at, say, 15% returns over 20 years. That turns into $1.6 million. Let's say I put it into Bitcoin at 30% a year over 20 years. That turns into $9.9 million. Now, this isn't theory. This is actual money that you're leaving on the table right now. It's the difference between one dinner out and maybe taking your entire family to Fiji. That's the difference between one rental property and 3 or 4 rental properties worth of income. Now, that's the difference between hoping to retire someday and actually building wealth, right? In this type of a scenario, you don't have to make an extra dollar. You just engineered wealth. You optimized what you already had. It's not about making more money. It's about making your money work for you, because income is earned, but wealth is engineered. So here's your quick action this week. First, calculate your opportunity cost. Add up all the cash that you have across all your accounts. What's this number? Now, multiply that number by 0.4. That's probably what you're earning right now. Now, multiply it by 10.5. That's what you could be earning. The difference between those two numbers is your gap. That's what you're leaving on the table every single month. Now, second, then move one account to a higher yield. Move your emergency fund to a high yield savings account at 4% or 5%. Move your business reserves to Stretch or something similar at 10.5%. Move your tax savings to a money market. Third, audit your bill payments. Set your mortgage, set your rent, set your car payment to pay one day before it's due. Set your credit cards to pay on the due date. Set your business expenses to the last day possible. That's it. 3 moves, but potentially $10,000 or more per year in difference. I hope this video was valuable for you. If you want to see another one of my favorite optimization strategies involving real estate and Bitcoin that turned 87,000 into 2 million, then click on this video right here, and I'll see you over there.